Hey, it's Emily and this is my 500 subscriber Q&A. So once again I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone who subscribed. I really do appreciate it. I can't believe I've hit this milestone, especially so soon after hitting 400. I'm so grateful, and I know that the time that I'm filming this I'm now on about 570, so it's insane how quickly like this has happened, and thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. I'm eternally grateful, and I really can't believe that I've even got here. I remember for years I was like on 30 and I never thought I'd even hit 100, let alone 500, so this is insane to me and I'm so happy. But yeah, so I thought I'd do a bit of a Q&A just to introduce myself to everyone who's like new to my channel. Yeah, so let's just jump straight on into the questions that everyone on Instagram and Twitter have sent me. So I'm going to start with Instagram, and the first one was myself. I just put in introduce myself, or introduce yourself, to remind me to introduce myself. So I am Emily, hence my channel name, Emily Kathleen Reads. I have quite a wide variety of tastes, but I tend to stick to more realistic fiction, so contemporary romance, thrillers, mysteries, that sort of thing. I still read a bit of fantasy and sci-fi, just not so much. My favourite authors include Patrick Ness, Joe Watson. I'm trying to think now. I do love Agatha Christie quite a bit. There's so many. There's like, honestly, the list can go on forever. But yeah, I definitely say Patrick Ness is like my branding. For anyone who is new here, I mention Patrick Ness a lot. So yeah, he's probably my #1 favourite author. And yeah, I don't know what else to read to introduce myself else with. Some of my other hobbies include playing musical instruments, hence the guitar in that corner there, and I do play piano, and that features sometimes in my vlogs. And I also do write. I also write. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Wow, it's very soon in the video for me to lose the plot. So yeah, I do write as well, and I'm definitely going to be posting more author-tube-ish content very soon. So yeah, that's introducing me. The next question, it's a bit of a joke, I know it's a joke from my friend, but she said favourite hymn, and my favourite one has got to be the classic Sing It in the Valleys. And he's also said, who's your favourite, Dort or Gort? And you know, Helena, that I cannot pick between them. I love them equally. Moving on to the actual like serious questions. Well, actually no, this one isn't so serious. Connor asked me contemporary or Murphy, and as much as I love contemporary, Murphy, my dog, always comes up on top. I love him to bits, and I don't know what I would do anymore without him. So yeah, Murphy always wins. Murphy wins over everything. So yeah, I would 100% pick Murphy over a contemporary book for sure. So that was it on Instagram. I've now got quite a few more, quite a few on Twitter, so I'll go through them now. So the first ones I'm starting with are from Alice. The first one she asked is, what's your favourite booktube videos to watch, and what are your favourites to make? My favourites to watch are TBR games, I think, and reading vlogs. Those I like really enjoy watching. They're probably, yeah, well, they are my favourites. That's why I'm answering my question. Words. But yeah, that's why they're my answer to this question. I love watching people play their TBR games, and I just love that thing. Sometimes like unpredictability of them. And reading vlogs, I just love to like put one on as I'm getting ready, or just like to sit laying on my bed watching a reading vlog. That I really do enjoy. And favourites to make include TBR games. Oh, I feel like a sneeze is coming. No? Is it coming? There we go. I love to make TBR games and my journaling videos. Anything that relates to like setting up a new month, those are my favourites to make. I love filming my rolls and then picking the books. They're definitely my favourite to make, my TBR games, for sure. Alice also asks, what is a book they think everyone should read? And let me just grab it, because I really do think everyone should read it, and I'm not just saying this because it's by my favourite author, but Burned by Patrick Ness. This was like historical fiction mixed with fantasy, but like done really well. It's Burned by Patrick Ness. Did I just say that? I can't remember. But it's set in the 1950s America, and along with dragons and like other cool stuff, it does tackle racism and homophobia that was, you know, very prominent and present in America in the 1950s. And yeah, it's just so good. It's such a fun ride at times, but then it also is, like, it made me cry. This was the last book I think that made me cry. Or there's been one since, and I can't remember what it is. But yeah, when I read this last, I think May, when it came out, I just bawled. It was just like some points in it that are just, oh, it's just so good. And the representation in this, yeah, it's great. It's great. I highly recommend Bone by Patroness. The paperback has just come out, so I think I'm going to get that as well, because it was one of my favourite books last year for sure. And the final question that Alice gave me is, what is the prettiest book you own / your favourite edition or cover of a book you own? And yeah, so don't worry Alice, you're not bombarding me. I love all the questions. Prettiest book, I have no idea. I should have thought about this. I always go to, where is it? Where is it? It's on the shelf. It's on the shelf. I've recently reorganised this, so I'm still like finding my way around. This edition of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier is just stunning. Like the gold foiling, oh, the font, oh my goodness. It is stunning. So that's probably my favourite cover. That's always my go-to for prettiest cover. I don't think I have any others because that one's just stunning. I like this edition. If we're talking about different editions, so up here I have my Chaos Walking trilogy. And I have the first one in like the all black sprayed edges. That is very pretty. Compared to my other one, I first read it with this really battered, beat up World Book Day edition. It's really not in the best condition anymore. I can't remember why I got this, but there was no way that, like, I definitely want the whole set in these editions. Anyway, yeah. So next up we have a question from Nicole, and she says, what is your favourite musical artists or bands? I love this question. Right now I'm loving the Driver era, and sometimes I'm loving listening just to R5 because of this nostalgia, so they're kind of linked. The Driver era I only discovered at the start of 2021, so like in January, and absolutely love it. I can already tell that they're going to be my #1 artist for my Spotify Wrapped. So those are probably like the more popular ones I like, and also McFly. I absolutely adore McFly, and I'm seeing them in September. So they'll be like my more popular, like known ones, I reckon. And then the other ones that I absolutely love, and I always go see them when they tour or do any sort of show, and that's Deco and Casey Lowry. Deco is kind of like an indie pop 80s inspired band. They recently went sort of viral with a mashup they did on Twitter, which was like, you know, just like feel like a proud parent, and you're like, oh, I've known you since you were like so tiny, and now you're going sort of viral. So yeah, and I've seen them. I've got tickets for 2 of their concerts coming up, so I'm so excited to see them. And then Casey Lowry, he is a like Yorkshire born and bred artist. I don't know why that matters. And yeah, he's sort of like pop-ish. I don't even know what genre he comes as. Should I see if it comes up on Spotify? But he has some really just fun, I always associate his music with summer, and whenever I'm feeling down I honestly just press shuffle on him, and it's just, oh, it's just stunning. Does it say on Spotify actually what genre they are? So when reading his little paragraph it says, he's fast becoming one of the most talked about and promising indie names in guitar pop, so whatever that means. But yeah, no, I always just associate with his music with like just fun times. And yeah, they're so fun. Another shout out, actually there are 2 also more big. I got 2 more shout outs for my favourite artists. Muse, I always go see them. They're so much fun to go see and always visually amazing. Their most popular track that's probably well known on the Booktube community is Supermassive Black Hole, which is in the Twilight movies. And another film is in the Twilight ones as well, in Eclipse, when they have like the little party. But yeah, love Muse. And then also Walk Off the Earth. I always go see Walk Off the Earth. They're just so fun and just like wholesome and just feel good music too. So, and I love all their covers. Yeah, those are the mine. Sorry, that's like 6 people. I was gonna plan on just say 1 or 2, but then I said about 6 or 7. So anyway, so moving on to questions from Jess. She says quite a few, and the first one is, what's your favourite Booktube video that you've made? I can't think of a specific one that I've actually loved the most. I would say that my favourites to make, like I said earlier, are my TBR videos, so probably one of those. I can't think of a specific video though that I'm like super proud of. I don't know. I can't think of one, so sorry Jess for not answering your question properly, but probably a TBR game. She also says, since starting your channel, do you feel like you've started, do you feel you started reading in different genres? 100%, I would never have gone anywhere near fantasy or sci-fi without Booktube. I would always stick to thrillers and contemporary and romance. Like, that was it, and maybe mysteries every now and then. So the fact that Booktube brought me into, you know, a more diverse reading genre-wise words, I am, yeah, very grateful, and I do feel like I have read in a whole lot more genres. According to my core pile, apparently this year already I've read 12 different genres, so we love to see that. But yeah, she has one more and it says, do you enjoy doing some non-bookish videos, e.g. journaling, etc.? 100%. I love journaling videos. They were some of my favourites to make, like I mentioned earlier, and I also love doing writing videos as well. So I did the AuthorTube newbie tag and writing vlogs, that sort of thing. That I enjoy doing stuff that aren't specific to just reading books. I hope that answers those questions, Jess. Sorry. Right, we're going to move on to questions from Rachel. So the first question Rachel asks is, what's one thing you've learned since starting a channel? And this is a hard one because I've definitely learned so much, and it's definitely like, I don't know, I definitely have learned that if you put in that little bit more effort, then just the satisfaction alone makes it so much more worthwhile. Just making a product that you're, like a video content that you are so proud of. Like, I don't know, but I've also learned how amazing people can be in this community. I've made some amazing friends, and I've learned so much about my reading tastes as well, like just from hearing about books from other people commenting and recommending books. I've then read them and found out what's more my style, and yeah, I've definitely learned about that, so that's definitely something that I have learned for sure. So much, honestly, there's so much, and I just panicked and thought of the first thing that came to my head, but yeah, I have learned a lot. So Rachel's next question is, what's a book you love but you don't talk enough about? This is so hard because I feel like I try to talk about my favourites a lot. Let me just stand up and have a look at my shelves because there's a couple I can think of, but yeah, I'm just gonna have a look. Okay, so I've got 3 here that I'm going to briefly talk about because I couldn't really decide, and I know there's so many, but I feel like I do go on a lot about my favourite. So like the Destination Love series by Jo Watson, or Patrick Ness books, or just stuff like that. So I've got 3 different books here that I'm going to quickly talk about because they are also books that brought me into reading. So the first one I'm going to talk about is The Repossession by Sam Hawksmoor. I read this in 2013, which is a book, one of the books that really got me into YA reading and like, yeah, more teen fiction than just like the Gallagher Girls series. So like young teen, this was like something that got me more into like the darker-ish stuff. This is still like teen, so it's not like really dark. So this one definitely. This one is about a girl called Jeannie, and her mum believes she's possessed and so locks her in her bedroom. She then escapes, and basically these kids keep going missing in her town, and she figures she's going to be the next one. And so she goes on the run with her boyfriend Ryan, and it really goes from there. It's sort of like dystopian-ish, sci-fi-ish? No, it's like there's tech-ish features towards the end, but I won't say any more than that because that's a big plot point towards the end, but it's just amazing. So that's that one. The other one are both by the same author, and that's Terry Terry. I've met Sam Hawksmoor and I've met Terry Terry. Lovely people. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Slated, and that is the one I read first. I read this in the same year because I don't know if you saw on the front and on the spine it has a sticker that says 2013 shortlist ABA, so it was for the ABA Amazing Book Awards that I read that book in 2013. That was my first year doing ABA, so that's really got me into like reading more teen YA stuff. And this was also one of the books that year, so I was 5, and this also made the shortlist. So I reread this quite recently, and still really love it. It's definitely teen fiction. It's not that like older teen, I say mid-teens, like 15, 16. I read it when I was 13 though, so I still really enjoyed it. And it's about a girl called Kyla, yeah, I was about to say Kyra, and her mind has been slated and completely erased. Her memory has been erased, sorry, her mind has been wiped. And it's basically because she was a criminal as a young teen. The way the government has sort of dealing with young criminals is that they wipe their memory and they send them into a new home. Parents adopt these kids, and they have a little thing on their wrist called a levo, and it sort of controls their emotions. It stops them from getting angry or upset, so they can live their normal lives, and then it will vibrate if they're getting too upset or angry, and if it gets even worse then it knocks them out. So It goes from there, and she sort of wants to know what her truth is, like what her past is. So that's one. I absolutely love that whole trilogy. And then this is another trilogy by Terry Terry. It's a Contagion one. I know people probably don't want to read this right now, and probably won't want to read it for a while, which is sad because I love it. And but it does feature a pandemic, oh not pandemic, an epidemic at the start, going through the north of Scotland. I think it was the north of Scotland. It starts Scotland, then goes down to the north of England, but that's as far as it goes. It's hard to explain because it's not like a virusy sort of epidemic. It's so hard. When I picked this up, basically on the back all it says is about a girl who's gone missing, and her brother connects with this other girl who has said basically, yeah, she saw his sister the day she disappeared, and so they connect and they try to find his sister. But basically there's a sort of epidemic coming through Scotland, and they basically just want to find her before things get out of hand. But then I don't know how to like describe it without giving spoilers away, because the kind of virus is not like a medical thing, it's more of a fantasy-ish thing. I don't know if that's, it's so hard, but it's so hard to say without giving spoilers, but it's so good, and I know people won't be reading it, but I really want people to read it because it's Anyway, we'll move on because I keep answering each of these questions with paragraphs of answers. So let's move on to the final question that Rachel's given me, and that is, who was the first booktuber you followed? And I know it was, I can't remember her name. Let me see if I can find her. Her channel was called Flipping Through Pages, and she was Australian. She literally just popped up on my recommended one time, and I watched it and then watched loads of her videos, and I was like, whoa, do people actually like talk about books on the internet? Like, yeah. So I don't think she posts anything anymore. The last video she posted was 8 months ago. Does it say her name? Oh, Tanika. So yeah, it was years ago that I discovered Tanika. Haven't gone back. Sorry if you can hear my brother shouting, he's playing the Xbox. Moving on to someone else's questions. Alright, Dubby's next up. What are your favourite kind of special edition books? Like, what makes it special enough for you to buy it? For me, if it's by like Patrick Ness, or sorry, I got a mint in my mouth, I had to sort out some file issues and put mint in. Or if like Joe Watson had a special edition, then I'd automatically buy it just because they're my favourite authors. But for special edition, I'd probably want like bonus content, and the cover has to be like stunning. The cover has to be like an upgrade. If the cover is like that Rebecca edition, all for that. Or like a collector's edition if it's got like beautiful art or just a beautiful cover, then I'm sold. Especially if I love the book. Like, if I absolutely adore a book, I am open to buying multiple copies. Like, I've got 2 editions of The Knife of Never Letting Go, and I'm also looking to get where is it up there, down here, yeah, Cruel Summer down there. I am going to look into getting another edition of that. I'm going to keep that because I got it signed by Juno Dawson when I met her, but it says on the cover James, and I want to change that. And I'd like a copy of one of my favourite books of the year so far with the author's current name, like chosen now name. So we now got a question from Anya, and she says, most anticipated 2021 releases. Now, I'm so far behind. I just genuinely don't know when things are coming out, and I just don't pre-order things unless it's from Joe Watson, Patrick Ness. So one of my like most anticipated releases has already come out, and that is Just the Way You Are, I think it's called, by Joe Watson. What else have I got anticipated release for? Heartstopper Volume 4, which came out like a week or 2 ago, so I got that and read that. Oh, another one is Take Me Home Tonight, which is a new Morgan Matson book. Concrete Rose was another one from this year. I can't think of any that are coming out soon. Maybe Malibu Rising, but I haven't read The Seven Husbands of Evan Hugo yet, so not The Flat Chair. It's another Beth O'Leary book. The Road Trip. I'm not necessarily anticipating that the story. I'm more like, I want the audiobook. It has just come out like fairly recently, but I just got an email and it showed the narrators for the audiobook, and now I'm like, yes please. It's Josh Dillon, who's in Mamma Mia 2, and it was Eleanor Tomlinson, who's in Anchor Songs and Perfect Snogging, as well as Paul Dark, so I definitely want to get that audiobook because I love them. Amazing. Let's move on to her next question, which what TV shows are you currently watching? So I'm currently watching I've watched loads of like true crime documentary miniseries recently, so the new one that came out on Netflix called Sons of Sam, and yeah, really enjoyed that one. I'm rewatching Girls Incarcerated because I seem to like criminal documentaries or something. What else am I watching? Call the Midwife, though I'm very far behind this season. I've only watched the first episode. I'm also watching, still halfway through this last season of The Chilling Adventure of Sabrina. Me and my friend haven't watched that in a couple of months, which is so sad. But he has got exams, so I'm letting him slide. Letting it slide even. Don't know when that cut off, but I have now had to stop 4 times filming this. What TV shows we're currently watching? I think I finished answering that. I don't know. Favourite foreign films has to be House, which is a Japanese horror. And I quite like Bodyguard, which is a Bollywood film. So those. Oh, and I love Le Laurent. That is a German film. Can't think. There was one we watched in French that was quite good, and it was about this boy. He went to like a really strict boarding school or something, and he got like hit or something. I don't know. But I really enjoyed that film. I can't remember much about it. My favourite childhood book. I love the Shetland Pony books, which I've got down under my bed, which I can't bother to get out because it means moving furniture. But yeah, those are my favourites from my childhood. I also love the Lawrence St John, Laura Marlin, is that what it's called? The Laura Marlin mysteries. And of course I just remembered Doc Diaries. I read so many Doc Diaries. Part of me wants to go and reread them and read the ones that have come out since I stopped, because they're just so fun and very quick to read. I always loved them, and I always felt like I could relate to, I can't remember the main character's name. I just remember the like love interest being like Brandon or something. I think also, I literally just had one in my head and it's gone. Michael Morpurgo books. So plenty of Michael Morpurgo books I read as a child, and they've stuck with me. Also, a book I always just take out from the library that I cannot find anywhere like in existence is, I think it was called Rib Ticklers, and it was like a really funny story, like collection of stories. And as a child I always took it out from the library, and I just remember this one story that genuinely made me giggle so much every time that I'd literally cry of laughter every time I read it, and that took a lot for me, especially as a child. But it was like about I just remember like it being about a teacher in a class and something to do with like the skirt being like coming down. I don't even know. I just remember thinking it was absolutely hilarious. Right, next question. Do you consider yourself a diverse reader? Yes, somewhat, but I definitely want to like increase my diversity. I think I am diverse genre-wise, but I also want to read more from books around the world. I want to read more translated fiction, and that's definitely something I really want to focus on over the rest of the year and into the future, because I feel like I don't read enough of that, and that's something I want to change. Somewhat a diverse reader, but definitely loads of room for improvement, and I definitely want to do that. Okay, so Rebecca, just the first question first. She said, who are your favourite YouTubers that aren't booktubers? I need to think. I often watch The Gang, Rydell Lynch, or Rodell Funk now, so also the Funks. Sorry, my dad just called asking if I want a cup of tea. Let's have a look. Yeah, who did I mention? The Gang, Rydell Funk, the Funks. I watch Watcher, and I love BuzzFeed Unsolved, like true crime, and I just love some like British YouTubers, like trying to think, Amazing Phil. But most of the time I just watch like clips from shows, like I watch Bondi Rescue clips on YouTube, or like stuff from Australia Zoo and things like that. I'm just looking through my current watch later that I'm watching. Daz, I watch Daz reacts to funny things. Dr. Mike. I'm trying to think, like I'm going through, and it's the same people popping up and up and up. But yeah, like This Morning clips, just not that exciting. Scary stuff as well. I swear there's more like people than that. I don't know. I'll have to do some thinking, because I swear I read more. Anyway, apologies if it's getting dark. I've been filming for like 2 hours now because of like the phone situation. And Rebecca's second part of the question is also, how much do you love me? Loads, lots and lots and lots, Rebecca. You're my bestie. Oh, I hate that. But yeah, no, so much, and I love our little movie dates. We're gonna watch Llamageddon this week. We are. Right, moving on. Jordan asks, what's your favourite book so far this year? That is so hard. Probably between, it's all the way at the top, Aurora Rising. Actually Aurora Burning I think I prefer to Aurora Rising, but the Aurora cycle so far. Cruel Summer was absolutely amazing, that blew me away. Jurassic Park I really actually enjoyed as well. and a couple of Sophie Kinsella books I've read that just like made me feel so happy that, yeah. Oh, I also loved, I've read 2 Destination Love books this year. One was a reread, one was for the first time, but they're definitely up there. So I don't know if I have a definite favourite book so far this year. If I had to pick, probably Aurora Burning. That's the book that made me cry. You know, I said earlier there's a book recently, Aurora Burning, I cried at that. So that can take it, I think. That can win. So we're on to the last tweet now, the last reply, and that's from Christy. And the first question Christy asks is, what's your favourite thing about having a channel? And just like talking to like other people and just creating content. I love just sitting down and creating content, filming. Tea delivery. Oh my god, it's so full. Oh no, oh no. Okay. Right. Favourite things about having a channel. I just feel like just so happy when I do it. That's just something that I love. I love just like, I love when you've edited it and made the thumbnail and you just press like schedule or like publish, whatever, and you're like, I've just created my another baby. Not quite like that, but like it's just, I don't know how to explain it. I just feel so accomplished when I do it, and I just love interacting with people, and I love it. This beats it actually. I love getting comments. Anyone who comments on my video, I'm like, it just is the best, and especially if they're like nice, not if they're like horrible, but like I haven't really experienced that many horrible comments, so getting comments, that's one of my favourite things ever. And then the last question for this video, Christy asks, what's your favourite thing to do in your spare time except reading? So let's put my laptop down now. Except reading, I like to write. I do that a lot. I sit down and play the piano. That's my favourite instrument to play right now. I especially have my Les Mis book, and I've started learning it again because I haven't played the Les Mis book in like over a year, and so I like to just sit down. Actually, maybe it wasn't over a year, maybe it was since summer. But yeah, I just love to sit down and I'm relearning how to play some of like the tunes. Yeah, I also have so many piano books, so I think that's my main thing that I do. Working at the zoo that I'm like volunteering at, that's one of my favourite things to do. Just being there, being with people, being with the animals, it's so much fun. And literally every day is completely different to every other day. Like, what's the phrase? Like, no 2 days are the same. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just so fun, and okay, yeah. That's all I do in my spare time, really. Like in my actual spare time when I'm not working or anything. Yeah, watch telly sometimes. I don't really watch telly anymore. I used to watch it. And especially leading up to Christmas, I'd watch loads of movies on Netflix as well. But now I just don't watch that much. I'd rather watch like Booktube videos. Anyway, this video is gonna be super long, so I think I'm gonna end it there. Thank you to everyone who has sent me questions, and especially to everyone who's subscribed, and especially to anyone who sent me questions. That's the order I meant to say it in. I really do appreciate the like interaction between everyone. Yeah, I love it. Let's wrap this video up. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you're new around here, because I do appreciate every single one of you. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you soon with a brand new video very soon. Bye! Oh god, I hated the way I ended that.